So we actually filmed this video as an exclusive for our dedicated supporters, but there are some videos that we make for our supporters that we think are actually important enough to put out publicly available. So of course our supporters get it early. That's the advantage in supporting us that way. And the exclusive content that we're making is as high quality as our other publicly available videos. It's not just secondary low effort stuff. No, these are full length Shadowversity videos, but we make them exclusive because for the most part, these are the type of videos that just do not perform well on YouTube, yet I still think they're important and many in our audience wants to see them. Now, this video might actually do well. It's a wildcard. The exclusive content is more wildcard content that for most of the test cases that we have done usually gets buried in the algorithm and YouTube doesn't push it, and we've had to refocus the way we kind of package our public videos. But the point is, this is one of those important ones that I think should be out there publicly available. And if you want to get access to exclusive content like this, either early or exclusively that no one else can get, all you need to do is support us here on Shadowversity. Just $1 a month. That's like $12 in a year. It helps more than we can express. It's the only thing that's making us sustainable. It's all thanks to you guys. We really appreciate it. And it is also our privilege to bring some of that content to you right now, because this one, I tell you, yeah, just wait and see.
Shadowversity.
Greetings, I am Tyranth.
And I'm Shad.
And today we've got a fun one for you guys for the exclusive, and that is this here.
Will people recognize it?
They should.
They should.
I think it did all right, the video. This is the Long Tana from a project way back when, turning it into a monstrosity. But we're not really talking about that. What we're talking about is the blade on this.
This was a Tinker blade that we ordered specifically for this project to see what it would be like if we put a katana hilt on it. But the thing that we didn't get to do was fully explore how tough the blade was, the Tinker Longsword. Now, if you don't know, the Tinker Longsword has been around for a good couple of years and has been considered one of the more affordable, quality functional longswords that most people can buy. It's like, if you wanted a functional, serious, well-designed sword, the Tinker Longsword was most people's entry point.
Well, think about it like this. Just go back a decade or more.
Oh yeah.
The market was not what it is today. So something like this was
between $200 to $300.
Yeah, kind of all
really
you've got.
Good.
That's all you've got.
Yeah.
So a lot of people bought these, and it actually spurned on the whole kind of
custom fittings.
Yeah, custom fittings type market, which is great and all. But the truth is, I don't think they're very good blades, and I've seen a lot of people say kind of the same thing.
See, I want to find out, because I think the geometry and design of the blade is perfect. It's top tier.
I like that.
Tang is the issue with these swords, that a number of people have bought them and they have snapped at the tang for more than one person.
For a lot of people.
And well, I was just going to say, this is good to address right now, because on the market currently, there are some very competitive, high quality options that you can get for comparable price.
Because we actually have two Tinker Longswords. The other one, you guys may have seen in a video here and there.
It's a blunt blade.
The blunt one. It's pretty bad. Me and Nate have, I wouldn't even say sparred. We clashed blades, blunt blades, just a little, I'm going to say sparring just for the sake of ease of you guys. We sparred for about a minute and 30 seconds. And there are gouges on the blade.
I like it though.
Yeah. I like the geometry of it, but it is way too thin to be a blade that you would actually practically train with.
For a training blade, it's got the edge is too thin, you're
way
right.
Too thin.
Compared to actual trainers, and those things have taken such abuse, they're just beasts.
Yeah, so that's my point of reference, is because they sell it as a blunt blade for training. The problem is, we trained once for about 35 seconds, and the blade started just chipping. So that's my favorite reference, how bad they are. Then we get to this blade here, which is exactly the same as their blunt, but it just has an edge.
Tyranth wants to find out how strong this edge is against the metal pipe of doom.
Yeah. Now, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. First, let's do some cutting with it, just to remind us, like, you know, what's the performance of it in general use?
Yeah.
So let's get to that, and then we're going to try and destroy it.
Long Tana. Like we said in the intro, this one's a little bit complex. But it's more so about the blade. The blade, the heart of the sword, being the, what are they called? The Tinkers.
This is, as we mentioned, Tinker blade. From memory, this cut great.
It did, and it's sharp, brand new, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I expect this to just be the same as it was before. Nice and fun to cut with.
Let's do it. I messed up that last one. Yeah, it's sharp. It's good.
Messed up like 3. But yeah.
The last one.
There was like a filleting cut, then
I didn't see what you're talking about.
I think we've broken the suspension on this thing.
Yeah. Don't. He's going to see it in editing, the bastard. Yeah, you missed it. Gorgeous series of cuts.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you'll see editing this.
Yeah.
It's one that was just, you can skip. I've already done it. It's your turn.
Oh, all right. Like, I will give it to them that I do like
It's a gorgeous blade.
the look of their blade.
Yeah.
And even the thickness, the refinement, it's all fine. But this is the thing, is that I've never had the inclination to buy one.
I have. That's why I bought that.
Recently.
Recently, there are a lot of competitive, high-quality options that are around the same price point.
You got to remember, I'm pretty sure you can get the Tinker blades by themselves.
You can?
I think from Cult of Athena you can just get the blades. But if you get them as a package, they are trash. The scabbard is, where is it? This scabbard is terrible quality. The handle originally was terrible quality. The pommel
I wouldn't
and
call it
crossguard
terrible.
were not good.
It's plain. This is fine.
That's like budget stuff.
'Cause, like
this I don't even think, like, let me put it this way. What would you buy? A Tinker Longsword or the Timu sword? Keep in mind the tangs on
I think
these
the
are
Tinker
not very
sword
good.
is better than the Timu one.
You think?
Yeah, I do think. Well, yeah, I do. Unless we debunk it in this video with durability. But if you were to say Tinker or the Swordia one, I would go Swordia. Like, look at now, where you have a point on scabbard is, look at the scabbards here.
Yeah, this is way better.
And I took the bottom,
Yeah.
belt part off, but gorgeous scabbard. And look at this, stitching up top there. And there are now just nicer swords at comparable price points than what the Tinker was filling.
Well, the biggest issue I have with the Tinker is not only like the blade stuff, but the tang on this is not very good. It's a rather thin tang.
Yeah.
That's why I say the Timu's better, because the tang was better. Way better.
That's a good point. And one of the criticisms of the Tinkers is the weakness at the tang. They've snapped at the tang before for a number of people.
Yeah. This is still a cool sword, though.
Yeah, it is
I only
actually.
used it like once, but like it's a cool sword. It has a weird kind of like profile to it.
We're even now. Hey, literally when you're away, exact same thing.
Oh,
One
yeah,
failed,
sure.
one success. You keep that fail in. Don't you edit that out. That blade design, the geometry on it,
Yeah.
is great.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's go ruin it now.
But I think it's still different versus the vibration hitting the pommel and then bouncing back into the shoulders.
Maybe. But usually a lot of the places where it snaps is right here.
Yeah,
That's where I've seen them fail.
same. But I think that's the damaging vibration of coming from the peen.
You good?
Yep. What the hell? What the friggin' hell?
Oh, I love when I'm right.
What the hell was that?
The blade snapped in half.
I can't believe, first hit! Are you kidding me? That has never happened!
I tried to explain this to you and you wouldn't believe me.
What the?
These are not good blades.
Well, now I'm convinced! Holy crap!
Yeah,
That is shocking!
that was a one-handed hit
One-handed,
right there, near the sweet spot, like almost perfect.
dude. No, like, this, we've never had a snap like this.
I told you
on
they're shit.
any commercial sword.
They're shit.
Any commercial. Now, look, we have abused this already in previous tests.
No, we haven't.
Not a lot.
We've done
A little
like a little, yeah, the handle felt all right. That type of thing. We have never actually hit it on anything.
Because you think it would have snapped it right out of the box like that?
Yeah. This is a brand new blade. This is brand new.
Gosh.
All we've done to this is put it in that handle. That's it. You just bought that, remember?
Yeah. I mean, holy crap. Tinker blades. Do not recommend. Wow. Props to Tyranth, okay. When you're right, man. And this one, you were bang on the money.
I'm going to save that as my ringtone.
I've only seen failures like that on Forged in Fire. I don't expect that level of failure from a commercial grade sword.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, there's a reason why I said I think the cost of these is way too much. And in today's market, I've never felt the inkling to buy one, ever. I mean, it held up better here, but you got to remember, if you look where I'm actually hitting the blade, look how much meat we got.
So, look, the edge damage from the Metal Bar of Doom is actually quite minimal. That's a tough edge.
But
no. What we're seeing here is that the hardness is maybe too high on this, making the edge tough but brittle.
Sure. But we're also down here. Like that is very close to here. The blade's supposed to be up here. This is very thick here. This is a big chunk of meat behind that blade.
Not excessive. I've seen far worse.
I know you probably don't want to, but did you want to try your Tinker blunt on that?
No.
Just one? Just one?
No, screw you. Stop trying to destroy my favourite things.
No, because like I just want to show the edge damage is so terrible.
Come on, dude. This is impressive. That is good retention on the edge, but it might indicate why it snapped up here because it might be hardened too much.
Well, I can do a couple of flats. This is actually really bad. I was not hitting hard on the flat.
I mean, you expect that.
No.
What sword hasn't bent on a flat?
Because now this is not a full long sword anymore. This is a short sword, means this is all just thick, fat material.
I don't know about... See, I expect bending on abusive flat hits like that. What sword hasn't bent on that?
Feathers are made not to do that.
This isn't a feather,
Or training swords. Like we could go grab our training swords and we could do that and nothing would happen.
Yeah, they're made to be extra flexible, but think about the Crusader sword.
It didn't bend.
It did bend on the flat.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't. The pommel came slightly loose. The Crusader didn't bend.
Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Yeah, this one does make me a little conflicted. Now, I had a prediction going in that I didn't think it would snap at the tang, not necessarily because Tinker swords can't snap at the tang, but because it's constructed like a katana, it has pins through the tang, which makes the vibration end differently, and these handles do absorb vibration more, katana handles. Okay, there are a number of important caveats to try and be as, I guess, clear as possible what this means. Before we do that, this is our first snap on the wood test.
Yeah.
We've never had a snap. We've had bends, not a snap.
Yep, never a snap.
Now, is that unreasonable for a sword?
Yep.
For a consumer grade sword? I would say yes. Now, most people will never put their swords through that level of abuse, but some might. If they do a mishit and they hit something solid or something like that, there could be a snap, blade flying off then, dangerous, bad.
Well, let me put it this way. A sword at bare minimum should be able to clash with another sword.
Yes.
And now imagine if that wasn't a big fat wood fibrous beam and was another sharp point, that would have just cut it.
Well, that's a good point. Like if you have a sharp edge digging into this, edge on edge,
it would have been worse.
There's a higher chance of making a break or snap on top of that. You will find historical swords of even worse quality than this, but for the modern standards,
And for the price, this is not a cheap sword though. I'd put
it was once. Now all the prices have come down, and there are a lot more competitive options. Look, we have to say the swordier one handled more abuse.
Yeah.
And it was a thinner blade.
I would also add that on the original handle and pommel and all that sort of stuff, I reckon it would have been way worse. Because remember, it had a little thread on it. It was a threaded pommel. It had a rather thin crossguard, and it didn't have the benefit of all my epoxy in there.
Yep.
And the pins holding all the tang and everything like that. Much thinner wood. I think we would have gotten a break at the tang.
Well, here's the next question. Quality control. One of the concerns that have come up with Tinker blades is that some people have had them and they've been perfect, like durable, fine, and the issues that other people had with them didn't happen on their swords because one sword, like there are swords that snapped at the tang under same amount of use and other Tinker swords that didn't. And the issue that I think is not that necessarily all of them are crap, that their quality control is far worse and there are higher chances of getting a lemon that can break, and that I'm not excusing. That's not good enough.
But
you shouldn't.
Insane. That's like going to buy a gun and being like, "Hey, this gun has a chance of firing on its own." You would be like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to bloody buy that gun."
Yes.
So that's the problem here. And keep in mind, this is a brand new blade. We've never done anything with it. We just re-hilted it. On the first hit, it snapped in half. That's dangerous.
Yeah. If there are quality control issues to that level that you can get that big of a defect, I can't recommend them. I wouldn't buy a Tinker sword now.
And then I put it into the context of your blunt. That is a sword that they sell it as a sparring option, and it took massive gouges out of the blade just from like 3 hits. It was nothing. And it's like, that will snap.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. We've made this as an exclusive, but after we release it, I think this is important enough to release as a primary video sometime. Just, it's important that there's more feedback on these swords then, because a lot of people know them. People have been questioning about the quality, and I think there should be a larger voice to just warn people about that, because we can do that.
I've seen on Cultivatina you can get the bare blades. Just the blades for like $100 US, I think. I think that's a rare, but then if I put it in the context of the Temu sword, it's a terrible price. I think it's a good option to have. I think as they come with their crossguard, their handle and all that, they are nowhere near worth the price.
Oh no.
Nowhere near.
The Temu sword is more durable than the Tinker.
Way more, way more.
That's the baseline now.
It is.
If you cannot make a sword better than a $80 to $90 Temu sword, you got issues. Got issues. Wow.
But that's all. I think
check out the review of the Temu sword right there, just to see the proof in the pudding, guys. Thank you for watching. Cheers.